Alright, we are once again hands because today we're decluttering and going through my eyeshadow collection. And we're just going to do high-end drugstore together because I don't have a ton of affordable / drugstore, whatever you want to call it, makeup. I have a lot of maybe like kind of mid-range prestige brands. And a lot of Huda Beauty, so let's just get started digging through some eyeshadows. But before we do, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know which one of these eyeshadows are your favorites. I don't know. Shit, comment something. And let's get to decluttering. Let's get started here. I'm gonna start with Huda because, like I said, I have a lot of Huda. And yeah, we'll just get started with what's in front of me. Let me move some stuff out the way. So from Huda, we have got Mercury Retrograde. Obviously, I am keeping this one. I don't know why I said obviously. I don't know if that is obvious. But Mercury Retrograde is one of my favorite Huda palettes. And one of my favorite colorful palettes. This is about as colorful as I tend to get around here. I do have a few more that are a little more, or a few more palettes floating around here that are a bit exciting. But as far as pastel goes, this is about as exciting as it gets for me. I'm not a pastel fan, but I love these shades. So yeah, very pretty shimmers in here. You can get some pretty fun, like cyberpunk vibes with it. My least favorite shade, and one that I've not ever put on my eyeball, is this one. Ew, I hate that color. I hate it so much. But I love the rest of this palette, so Retrograde is definitely staying. Alright, next we've got the Naughty Nude palette. This one is another favorite from Huda. I think this one's so just sultry, sexy, naughty, beautiful, you know. It's all those vibes. This is a very, to me, a perfect like date night romantic palette. Love these shades. I think it's really pretty. The quality is great. And even though it has that weird coronavirus looking shade in it, it's still super pretty. The shade Passion is really one of my favorites. It's, again, a purple to blue duochrome. Apparently I'm just a fan of that type of color. Please Me is a favorite, even though it's kind of a boring shade. It's something about it I really like. I think Hard might be one of the more, it's okay shades in this palette. It's just a dark brown, but I think it serves the purpose of as a deepening shade, but it's not the most exciting thing in the world. I think the most disappointing shade in this palette would be Flower Power. It's just really doesn't do anything for me. It's just blah. Even the weird Vaseline slippery shade's better than that. What else? Provocative is very pretty. It is a gorgeous rose gold tone. Ugh, love that one. And then of course Tantric and Desire. Very nice. Yeah, shades in this is just beautiful, beautiful colors, and I love it. Very fun palette. The mattes in here are flawless. They blend like absolute dream. They are just so good. So yeah, definitely keeping that one. I'm a huge fan of Huda's eyeshadow formula. I think that's a very polarizing formula. Like some people love it, some people hate it. I happen to be one of those people who really enjoy her formula and have enjoyed it since Desert Dusk, which in comparison now that palette is like garbage quality wise, which brings us to Desert Dusk. And when I saw this in store at Sephora, I fell in love. I had zero interest in this palette initially. Like I was just like, meh, whatever. Just, this did not look exciting to me by any means. I thought it was overpriced. And then I saw it in person and I was like, ooh, that's actually quite pretty. And I bought it and loved it. I loved the mattes in here so much. And this pressed glitter. And the shimmers are a bit not great. You definitely need a glitter glue to get them to work. But at the time, I thought it would, because the shift in them was so pretty, I didn't care. And I really loved this palette. And I still like it. And I'm going to hang on to it because it's fun to reach for in like a Shop My Stash or pulling older palettes type of thing. This is one of those palettes that I don't tend to want to reach for because I love the shade Saffron. Turkish Delight's really pretty. Let me see if I can get you these like swatch worth of shit. Yeah, look, Turkish Delight swatches beautifully. It applies beautifully. That was a great shade in this palette. And this shifty gold to pink. Yeah, not great. That one swatches horrible. You definitely have to use a glitter glue for it. That one has definitely gotten worse over time. That shade used to actually perform okay. Ooh, I think it's not held up. Royal. I really liked Royal. That was a good shade. Yeah, that one's still gorgeous. Twilight. Hello? Nope. Yeah, this was just very... I think it's just dried out, really. Because it performed better when I bought it. Honestly, I think this palette has just, like, dried out because it feels dry. Feels crusty. Well, some of the shades do. And then some of them are still performing beautifully, like Cashmere. Great. These metallics are doing fantastic, but there's just, like, the duochromes and the glittery shades in here are just shitting the bed. Oh, that feels really dry. It feels dry, but it went on good. Yeah, I think it's just maybe getting a bit old, but I'm going to hang on to it for reference sake and just because it's, you know, kind of a, to me, a really cool palette. It's one that I want to reference here and there shade-wise and like, I don't know, just I like it a lot. Even though I think it might be on its last legs. It may be making its way out of the collection soon and just become a palette I'm keeping purely for like a reference sake. Because sometimes I do like to keep my older high-end palettes just for comparison, you know, and to bring out to talk about shades and if something's maybe like an updated version of that. Next we got the Obsession palettes. We got Emerald Obsession. Let's swatch and see if these shades are still performing good. Oh yeah. Now the Obsession palettes, those were where the quality started to really improve with Huda. Look at that color. That's such a lovely shade. Then we got a gorgeous olive green in here, of course. This true like blue-based emerald. It's blackened green. Oh, I love that color so much. This palette was a banger to me. I loved it. I think Donna, did you say you didn't like this palette very much? Girl. I'm kidding, but girl. Because, I mean, this is a palette that I really, really like. I don't know. I love it. I love it. So, yeah. Questioning our pea in a pod status. I'm sleepy. My brain is not working. My arm is starting to turn a funny color from eyeshadow. Okay, so my arm's going to be a little glittery now. Then I've got Smoky Obsessions. I'm thinking I'm going to let this one go. Because I haven't reached for it in a very long time. I love it. Like, I would honestly be happy replacing this one. But since the black has broken and is gone, the rest of these shades aren't that stand out to me. And that was kind of the selling point of this palette, was because it had the black and it had these transitions and it kind of had everything I needed. And it was a great travel palette, and obviously did not do too well traveling because I broke it. But this was a palette I really loved. But I don't know, the black being gone, it limits it to me. But these shades are still creamy, pretty colors. Very Naked 2 vibe. If I come across like a dupe of this, I would be happy to have it. I just would really like to have that black shade back. But yeah, this was a good palette. A good palette. So I enjoyed it, but it's gonna go. It just doesn't serve its purpose for me anymore. Like once a palette starts to like miss a shade or something like that, I kind of get very about it. So now we have Neon Obsessions, or Electric Obsessions. Oh, I loved this one so much. This was my first neon looking palette and probably one of my few still. And I still reach for it when I do want a neon shade because these are phenomenal. I've done some amazing looks with this palette and definitely want to keep it. Really still great quality. Buttery. Oh, look at that. That is truly electric. Oh yeah, this shade. They glow. They truly just glow. The mattes in here are beautiful. Very pressed pigment. Oh, yep. Even the purple is pretty good. And I like this deep blue we got right there. Yeah. It was a great palette. And a yellow. So, I did some really cool vaporwave cyberpunk looks with this palette. And I'm definitely going to keep it because I liked it. Warm Brown Obsession. This one is another one I love for like around the fall time. This is pretty. I like how the browns in here have that pink red undertone to them, almost a purple undertone in them. I think it's really pretty, and it was very unique to me. It has a nice kind of nuance to the shades. I love that it is mostly matte, and you have the one copper in the middle, or yeah, kind of a golden copper in the center there. But this shade I love. This is like very, very perfect sultry fall vibes right here. Gorgeous, gorgeous color story. Keeping that one. And then Mauve Obsessions. I also really enjoy the colors within here. To me, this one's quite romantic. Very good, like date night type of palette. Pretty kind of pinky tones. We get this really, really pretty vibrant burgundy. Like this gives me a little bit of Pillow Talk vibes. And you got a nice eggplant and then pretty shimmery pink in here. This is a great palette. A great palette. If you can still find these, I think you can still get these on Huda's website. I'd say pick them up. Pick up any of the Obsession palettes because I have never been disappointed in any of them, and I love them. And that's just my take on them. I think a lot of people would maybe feel differently, but those are amazing in my opinion. Then we got Neon Obsession. This one might have actually been a bit of a dud compared to the others, but still not bad. You got a neon matte here, neon matte green that actually looks pretty good. It doesn't just look like a cast, it is truly that color. You get some really pretty shimmers in here. These are more in a topper shade formula. They're not super duper opaque, but there's a kind of a etherealness to this palette, like a 90s futurism, pretty kind of e-girl vibe to this palette. I think it's really cool. And I like how these shades are kind of sheer and they just give like this wash of shimmer and a slight shift. They're pretty and they're very fun. And yeah, I mean, it's a gorgeous little palette, and I think it's maybe not the most exciting palette just because they're a little more sheer, but I do really like this one a lot, and I've had fun with it. I've actually had a lot of fun with this palette, with the looks that I've created. I've enjoyed. So the green Neon Obsession is another favorite. This is the only one I picked up from the neon range because the other ones just really didn't speak to me, but that one I just thought was really cool. And I didn't pick any up from like next we have a few more. We got Khaki Haze and Sand Haze. Sand Haze is a gorgeous, soft, kind of pinky, everyday palette. Very just pretty. It's a pretty day-to-day palette that is somewhat romantic. I think it's a really nice palette. I like these shades in here. They've got a bit of a taupey coolness to them, with a little bit of pink as well, or mauviness. And then you got this pretty kind of reddish shade there, and these mattes are just so pretty. I think it's a very soft, romantic palette. Very nice. I like these tones. I think it's cool. This is a cool palette. This is one I really like for the spring. I think it's just so pretty. Yeah, I like this palette a lot. And it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but there's something about it I really enjoy. So, yeah, Sand Haze is staying. Khaki Haze, do I even need to talk about how much I love Khaki Haze? It's such a unique, weird, neutral palette. You've got like a little bit of like pink and purple in here, and then the khaki green, and this warm brown. It's gorgeous. It's so gorgeous. I love it so much. So, yeah, it's definitely staying. It is gotta be one of my absolute favorite palettes. And then we got Toffee Obsession. Or Toffee Brown Obsession, another one I really enjoy. I love mustard tones and these golden tones. This has got kind of Naked Honey vibes to it. Yeah, a great palette. Let's see. Maybe this shade might be a little bit of a dud. That's my only caveat with this one. Is that one shade is just kind of meh. It doesn't do a whole lot. I don't love that. But the gold in here, gorgeous. This shade, look at that. And then this one as well is really pretty. And the mattes in here are really pretty, like these mustards are super nice. So yeah, I think this is a really pretty color story. I enjoy this palette quite a bit. Again, I think there was like some mixed reviews on like these, but in my humble opinion, I like them. So there's that. And then my newest one, which is the Jaguar, Wild Jaguar palette. And oh, yeah, I really like this one a lot. I used it yesterday and just had an absolute blast playing with it. The quality has definitely been stepped up on this one since, like, I think the toffee ones. This shade is weird. It doesn't swatch great, but with a brush, it applies amazing, which is very different for Huda. Usually her stuff doesn't apply that great with a brush. But gosh, this one is gorgeous. I'm gonna try to swatch some of these out real quick. I did a look with this yesterday and just had so much fun. I loved it. And it's got this pretty like shifty business. I want to get the Python one. Right, so that's Huda. We're going to get rid of one. I probably should just get rid of Desert Dusk, but I just can't let it go. Because there's still some shades in there I really like. I don't know. I can't. I'm probably not going to declutter a ton of eyeshadow just because I'm a little bit more thoughtful about what eyeshadows I bring into my collection. Okay, we got two ABH Norvinas here. I think I'm going to probably let this one go. I just don't think it's very good. I thought the colors were fun, but I think the quality is just kind of garbage and I don't love it. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this one go because I tried playing with it a while back and I was just very disappointed in it. So it sucks. I love the retro futurism we got going on here, but it's just a shitty palette. And I just wasn't impressed with the formula, so I don't think I'm going to be on the, I don't think that the Norvina palettes have been on my radar really, and after using these two, I have no interest in them just because I don't think the quality is very good. Well, actually this one I haven't even used yet, so. But we got this one with the cherries on it. I think I'm going to hang on to this one and maybe do a look with it and see how it goes and try it out because I've swatched it. I think that's all I've done. Yeah, I've just swatched these shades. And, I mean, it's alright. It's not the best. That shade's cool. And we got this glitter. Pressed glitter in here that's, oh, really fun. Okay, so I'm going to hang on to this one and try to do a look with it and see. Wet n Wild is one of those brands that kind of sucker me in because they're so cheap. And I catch myself buying collections and stuff from them. And most of the time being disappointed. But in the eyeshadows anyway. But then there being like some really good ones mixed in. But I've kind of laid off on my buying cheap drugstore makeup. That's just kind of a thing that I want to do in this coming year is just buy like lipsticks, things here and there, but not bother with these palettes and stuff that's just taking up space in my collection that I'm not going to reach for. But yeah, first thing going to go are these two little pressed glitters. It's just some glitter suspended in Vaseline. So yeah, there's going to go. This little Zodiac palette I've never used. Got on clearance. I swatched it. It's going to go. I've got these from the Rebel Rose collection. These have such pretty color stories, but the quality is atrocious. And that makes me really sad. I did create some really cool looks with these, but the quality is just awful. They're so dry and crusty. And yeah, I had to really work to get good looks with these palettes. So, I mean, this I think was the best one in the collection, performance-wise. And still, like, that just is so, like, scratchy and dry and weird. It's just bizarre. So, these are just gonna go. And it sucks because I thought the colors in here were so cool. Man, they were just so bad. And I know Wet n Wild can do really good eyeshadows. That's what's so aggravating about that. Alright, and we got this little guy. I'm going to hang on to this one and revisit it. I've been meaning to revisit it for a while. Keep forgetting about it. But this is one of their newer palettes, and this is my Lucky Charm. It's pretty. I like it. I wanted to do something with this shade right here, which I didn't really get the chance to play with. But look at that. That's gorgeous. I want to play with that color. And of course I love the greens. Very pretty greens. The quality here, leaps and bounds better than those Rebel Rouge. Or Rebel Rose. The Rebel Rose ones. Like, wow, so much better. So I'm going to keep that one. We got this Fantasy Makers one. This is a fun little palette. I enjoyed it. I got this previous Halloween on sale. Just, they had it like on sale for, I don't know, Walgreens. And I got a discount on it. So yeah, this is really, really cool palette. I love this metallic mustard in here. I liked the look I did with this palette. And, ooh, whoop, a little chunky there. But that's a good shade. And this orange right here is just so vibrant. This was a fun fall palette. And you got some really good quality in here. Some nice shades. Or decent quality, rather. They're not dry and chalky. They don't swatch super great, but they performed pretty dang good on the eye. So I'm going to keep this one. And because I imagine they'll probably bring this out again at Halloween. And maybe we'll want to do some looks with it. And have some nice fall inspiration. It's making the cut for now. And then we got this one, which is the Color Icon from Wet n Wild. This is Call Me Sunshine. I did a video comparing this to Naked Honey. Pretty good dupe. I think the quality is just not quite as good as Naked Honey. Naked Honey is exceptionally good for Urban Decay quality-wise. So it had a lot to live up to in that way. But this is a good palette, and if you want these kind of color stories, but it's not something you want to invest a lot of money in, I don't think you'd be too terribly disappointed in this one. It was pretty good. This shade right here is unique to this palette, and there's not one like that in the Urban Decay, and this one's a bit more vibrant than the Urban Decay. So yeah, this is a pretty palette. I need to play with it some more. It's nice. So yeah, we're going to keep that one. And then I got these two. I've got Nude Awakening and my Glamour Squad. These are great. Great palettes. Very just good, trusty drugstore palettes. I mean, very affordable. The quality is really, really good. The shades are pretty. Like, see, Wet n Wild can do really good shadows. And that's so annoying when they phone it in and do something shitty. This one is a great dupe of the, what is it? Glam palette from ABH. These are great. I mean, I use this one for like a Mardi Gras ball for like, you know, a special event. It's that good. So those are going to stay. And next I got an LA Girl right here. This is a pretty good palette. I enjoyed it. I had fun playing with it. They sent me this with their liquid lipsticks. I think last year, maybe. Anyways, these are cool. These are very much similar to Huda Obsessions type of vibe. I think they have one that is a dupe of the Smoky Obsessions. And this one's quite similar to Mauve Obsessions. And maybe just a little bit more fun. It's got some duochromes in there. Like, it's got this pretty shade right here. But it's not an exact dupe, but you do get that kind of vibe from this palette. You get pretty pink. And these are like a Super Shock creamy formula. Really nice. Like, these shades are great. I think the only thing in here was the mattes maybe weren't that spectacular. But otherwise, these others perform like Huda eyeshadows. Yeah, I think the mattes were just a little bit, they kind of blended away on me a bit. They were a little powdery, but it wasn't bad. And for the shimmers, it's worth hanging on to, especially at the price point. They're very affordable. This is Playmate is this one. I do want to pick up the one that looks like Smoky Obsessions. So yeah, I mean, this is great. The shimmers in here, definitely. And again, for the price point, even the mattes not being spectacular, the shimmers are so good. I think it's a fine little investment just to have in your collection if these, you know, if they have one that speaks to you. All right, we got Milani. This is the Hot, Cool, and Vicious eyeshadow palette they did with Salt and Pepper. Very, very cool. Looks like a CD. The quality was really nice. I enjoyed these shades. It's a very pretty kind of spring, summer palette to me. I like the yellow that we have in here. And it performs pretty well. All the shades in here, the mattes performed beautifully. Very pretty colors. I enjoyed it. It's got a nice black in here. Some nice shimmers. And the metallics are really pretty. Look at that. Look at that gold. Oh, heck yeah. I really like this rose gold down here in the corner. They're a bit like chunky, but they smooth out. So yeah, they're pretty. I really like them. And we got this center shade that's a bit of a dud to me. I think it's meant to be a highlighter, but it's too deep for me personally. But it does work on the eyes, but it doesn't quite have enough glow as the others. Anyways, it's a pretty decent palette, and I'm going to hang on to it because I like it. And it will definitely be one of those that's a pull out to kind of shop my stash and just revisit a palette type of thing. That palette kind of stands out to me because I bought it right after I had my gallbladder out. I may have been a little hopped up on pain meds and decided I'm going to buy a Milani palette and ordered it from them. And I signed up for their mailing list to get a discount or free shipping or something. And I still get text messages to this day for that little text list. And that was 2 years ago, and I still have not taken myself off that stupid list. And most of the time I'm like, Milani, stop texting me. Anyway, it's just kind of a funny bumbling trying to order this with PayPal and being kind of goofed on some pain meds and being like, I just want this eyeshadow palette so bad. For some reason, I wanted it so bad too. The fun of having surgery and then window shopping online and deciding to actually try to make a purchase and the struggle that is. Couldn't remember any passwords. Jeez. Alright, let's just tackle Colourpop next. Because I got a lot of Colourpop here. We can go ahead and get this out the way. We got Through My Eyes from Colourpop and I Love Sorry. Again, this one, I'm not going to part with it. I love it so much. This emerald shade right here is phenomenal. The quality is still, they feel a little dry, but they feel good still. And yeah, that swatched beautifully, so I think it'll still perform. I wish this would like lay down. Oh, Nocturne, this shade. Oh, this palette was so pretty. It is so pretty. It is definitely a favorite. I love you got this mustard in here. You got all the colors I love in a palette right here. I couldn't have done better myself. Karen did an amazing job on this. And yeah, I love this palette. So I'm definitely keeping it because it's just one I truly love. Misunderstood, another one that I really like. It's fun color story. I like the jewel tones. Is it a palette I reach for often? No, but it's still a fun palette just to have. You do got this pretty green in here and some vibrant blues and purples. It's just kind of a fun palette, so I'm going to keep that one. And then we got Gather Round Sisters. Even this being not, if this hadn't have been a Hocus Pocus palette, I would still love it for the color story because these are the kind of colors I really enjoy. I've used this for every day. You can see it's well loved. I've actually used the heck out of this palette. And yeah, I'm going to keep it because now it's like a collector's item to me, but also I really love it. And it's kind of special because Chandra went through so much trouble to get it for me. And because after me sitting 2 hours online trying to order it twice in a row, and it was such a struggle to get this fucking thing. I'm not getting rid of it. There are 9 pans, I think is what these are. I don't know. I don't know math. Alright, honey. This was, I think, one of the first things from Colourpop I ever got, and eyeshadow wise, and I love it. It's, I mean, a honey themed palette. How could I go wrong? Yeah. Still love it. Gonna keep it because we got some fun yellows and golds in here. And why not? It performs beautifully. Gonna hang on to that one. I just hate that the front completely rubbed off. That drives me crazy. And I know they released a new like bee palette. I might have to pick it up even though it doesn't look that exciting. Just because I like bees. Alright, we got Call Me Sunshine, all matte mustards and kind of rust shades. Yep. Love it. We got That's Taupe. Ugh, I love That's Taupe. That is it's such a pretty cool tone palette. It's great. And yeah, I'm gonna definitely keep this one. It's just a really good everyday palette. Same with Nude Mood. It's a great just everyday palette if you just want something kind of warm, neutral. Just warm, kind of boring, basic, but still useful. I like Nude Mood. I don't know why. It's something about it I really enjoyed. Big Poppy. Heck yeah. Matte oranges, of course. Of course. We got Ornate. Oh, I love this one so much. Reds. You get reds and mustards and just all the colors that I love and a palette. And they perform beautifully. You got some dual chromes in here. some really complex glitters within the mattes. It's great. This right here, this shade, this gold, is so pretty. Well, I didn't really do it any justice, but yeah, I love Ornate a lot. And then we got Blush Crush. Really pretty, kind of gives me Pillow Talk vibes. Enjoy it. I think this is a really pretty spring palette and soft. Just really pretty. So yeah, I like it. It's nice to have on hand for just some variety. Same with making mauves. It's just a nice, more cool toned, pretty palette. And I feel like I haven't used it as much as I should use it because it's really pretty. So making mauves staying. And then we got Baroque, which is a favorite. Look at this. Oh yeah. These shades are so complex. These shimmers in here. They are duochromes and they go from like a rosy pink to a blue gray kind of, or like a blue shade, or to like a teal shade. I love the pansies on this palette in particular. It reminds me a lot of the decor my mom used to use. She decorated a lot of pansies, and we had a dog named Pansy. So yeah, I love this palette. I've got two little Super Shocks hanging out here from Colourpop. Let's see if those are any good. This is Paradox, which I'm probably going to pass these on anyways, just because I haven't touched them. Yeah, I mean, it's still good. It's not dried out. It's pretty. I've had this for I don't know how long and haven't used it. So I think I'm going to go ahead and let that go. This one is Beverly. And I think this one was a collab with somebody. I don't know who. Yeah, I've almost hit pan on this one. Even though, again, didn't use it that much. It's just a purple plum shade. Nothing special. I'm going to pass those along. Alright, next we got ABH, Anastasia Beverly Hills. Got a few from them here. Let's see. Let's start. We got the original Norvina palette. I do love this one still. It's so pretty. These are like the perfect purples and rose gold shades. I'm sorry if I'm blinding you with that mirror. Yeah, I love this one. I'm going to keep it. I love the warm browns in here, and it still feels really nice quality-wise. Everything is swatching okay. Nothing looks like it's gone off. So yeah, definitely going to keep this one because it's a favorite. I really love it. I think it's a very pretty romantic palette, and I feel like I want to see it used more. I miss it. I know she released the big one within her range or collection of her sister brand, whatever the fuck it is. And I don't know. I don't care about her little sister brand. I don't know what it is. I've kind of lost interest in ABH overall for some reason. Ever since that PR shit they did, like the PR list stuff. I don't know. They just kind of left a bad taste in my mouth, or like just kind of a I don't know. Something about them, they don't do it for me. Then they're releasing so much product that time. I'm just kind of over them, I guess. Alright, Subculture isn't going anywhere. I love this palette. Love it so much. Fight me. I love it. It's great. I think I got this a little bit later on. I may have been like repressed or something. I feel like they said they fixed the palette. I don't know. And we got Carly Bible here. This is a cute palette. I got it on sale. But I don't know. I don't think there's anything in here worth really hanging on to or writing home about. It's just very boring. This is a very boring palette. Like I just got it because it was on sale. So that's one of the things I don't want to do anymore. This palette did interest me. I think this one shade away. This was it. I don't need this. So, you know what? My Bible. Sorry, but you getting decluttered. We got Modern Renaissance. It is not going anywhere. If anything, I would probably be happy to purchase the new one because it is very well loved. Look at this. Ugh, I still love this palette so much. It gives me the warm fuzzies. It reminds me of a really nice time in the beauty community, I guess. And yeah, there's something just gorgeous about this palette, and I love the aesthetic. I love the design of it and the shade names and the inspiration. So yeah, I love that one. Love it. Then we've got Jackie Aina. Oh, this one. This is one of the best ABH palettes. Look at these colors. Gorgeous jewel tones. This one, Wiggley's. Oh my god. Gorgeous, gorgeous metallic red. Shookington. Oh, that's not a good swatch. Shookington is beautiful. Not swatching well, but it goes on the eye gorgeously. And look at this one. What is this, Big Wig? Oh, yeah. And I love Sponsored. This one's so pretty. These are great, great shades. Lituation. Good God, that's a tongue twister of a word. I love that one too. Dolas is pretty shade. Trust Issues, gorgeous dual chrome. I'm just gonna swatch this whole damn palette because I love it. Pinker and Supreme, and these edges, such a good shade. Ginger, oh, they're so good. Credit's a gorgeous shade. The mattes in here are amazing. Soleil is so pretty. Just a gorgeous gold. And then Zam, this shade. It's so good. I love the outer component. I think it's really pretty. I love this faux kind of crocodile, I think. Snakeskin, crocodile. And just the feel of it and the like iridescence. It's pretty. It's pretty. It suits Jackie. It's very glam. I think she did such a good job on that. All right, and next we got Riviera, which is, I mean, it's got color in it, but I have had zero inclination to reach for this palette since I got it. I think Seaside's pretty, but it's kind of boring. It's just something about this palette does nothing for me. Yeah, even that's such a lackluster shade. Like, it's just kind of meh. Just meh. I'm gonna let it go. I don't like it. I don't like the theme. I don't like this nautical French Riviera stuff. It does nothing for me. It's gotta go. I never thought I would be decluttering ABH palettes, but here we are. Alright, we got Sigma Untamed. Oh, this one I do really, really love. Me and Donna both got this one at the same time in the collab using it. Ugh, I love these colors. This is a beautiful palette. It is beautiful up and down. The quality is amazing. I think Sigma has really, really stepped up when it comes to their makeup. I mean, the brushes are phenomenal. They got like the warranty on them and everything, but their makeup is amazing. Their eyeshadow primer base, oh, so good. But the quality here, fantastic. Like, it's up there. I would say it's pretty close to like almost like Charlotte Tilbury type of feel to the formula. Very pigmented and pretty. I'm going to put my arm across the mirror here while I swatch. Gorgeous blue in here. Look at that. Oh, and some of these are kind of dual chrome. I don't know if this palette's still available or if you can get it anywhere. You might get it on Amazon because Sigma is sold on Amazon. But man, I just love this palette so much. It is a good, like, easy palette because it's very much paired up for you. And it kind of holds your hand a little bit if you need that, or you can just bounce around. It's great. It's kind of got everything I need. It's a really good, like, travel palette to me because it's just got all the things. And I love the velvet kind of tiger print here. I like the theme. This was a great palette. Great palette. And I really am looking forward to trying more palettes from Sigma. If they release some stuff more kind of in this vein, like the Cinderella one I didn't think was too bad, but they have those small like 9-pan palettes like the Ivy one and stuff. I really want to get some of those because I really enjoy the quality of this a lot. I wish Sigma was just a little more accessible and not had to buy like their makeup online. I do believe some Dillards and like Macy's and stuff carry them. And I've seen a handful, every now and then I would see them like in Stage, like a set of brushes here and there. But I think our Dillard's in Lafayette's has a little bit of like a Sigma like gondola or something. They did at one point when I went there 2 years ago. So maybe they have their makeup there as well. All right, I'm just going to pull this next stack over here. I think these are just more like one-offs. Palettes, not ones I have more than one from that brand. We got Laura Lee, Los Angeles. This is the Party Animal palette. Which I think, didn't she say she just like feels like this didn't fit her brand? And it really doesn't fit her brand, but I like these colors. I haven't got to use it, but man, look at this. This is a fun little palette, right? I've swatched it. Gosh, these are like electric. And you know, somebody who doesn't go for rainbow colorful palettes very often, this is good. This is one that I do want in my collection. The neon green is, we'll have to see how that performs. But I mean, that blue is stunning. This purple down here is a little dry, but looks pretty. It's a little crumbly, but it looks good blended out. Orange is okay. I mean, the quality feels pretty good here. And I'm just going to hang on to it for when I want like a electric vibe. I feel like this would play well with my Huda Electric Obsessions or the Huda Neon Green. So yeah, that's going to stay. I'm going to play with that. I actually got that from Donna in a giveaway and just have not gotten around to playing with it. I've just been a basic and neutral bitch this past year. All right, Venus Immortalis from Lime Crime. A favorite. I love this. I think this is such a beautiful palette. It glows in the dark also. It's gorgeous. It is just a gorgeous color story. I love it. And I want to pick up some more of these little Venus palettes. There's I think 2 other ones that I want to get. One of them has been out forever, and I always thought the price point was a bit much on these, so I never thought it was worth it. But this one, the aesthetic, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy it. But goodness, I can't think which one. There's 2 other ones that I do want to eventually have in my collection, and they do go on sale. I just miss the sales. We got Pat Mcgrath here. Bronze Seduction. Ugh. Seduct me all day here, Miss Mcgrath, because hell yeah. I love this one. This is gorgeous. These special shades. Bitch. That's all I gotta say about that. Oh, I love these. I love these shades. They're so fun and so pretty, especially over a sticky base so they don't kind of drop down, because they will get on your face. So good. The mattes in here are so nice. The metallics, beautiful metallic red. I'm a sucker for metallic red. But yeah, the mattes in here are very long wearing. They almost like stain in a good way. And I like that there's like these random neutral shades in here. What's funny is that there's not like a true bronze. This, to me, you know, it's kind of bronzy, but I don't know. I feel like it doesn't have as much bronze as you would think. I like this color story though. It's boring in a way. It's kind of basic, but it's also fun and unique. And just very me with this unique neutrals, which is what I enjoy. I love that rose gold shade right there. It's one of my favorite rose golds. And the packaging, I mean, my gosh, that's one of the most luxe palettes. Metamorphosis from Natasha to Nona. I don't think we even need to spend much time here. We know I'm keeping this one, and I love it so very much. I want to roll around in this palette. It is one of my absolute favorite palettes that has ever existed. I love the cream to powder formula. I love the shade right here. Everything about it, I love. I just want to literally like rub my face in here. These colors make me feel things. So, yeah, that stays. And then Vive. This is her first palette, the Essential palette. I mean, this is the perfect neutral, modern take on neutrals. I love it so much. This is one of my favorite palettes of 2021 for sure. There's everything I need in here. I love the uniqueness of the mattes. The quality is freaking phenomenal. I'm very impressed with this palette, and I love it. I love it so much. It's one of my favorite palettes. This and Metamorphosis might be like just the top 2 in my collection. I love this one so very much. And again, I know it's not like super exciting, but there's something about it, and it's grungy yet elegant. It is my vibe all around. So, ooh, I really got to glue that shade back in. It is soft, grungy, gothic glam right here in a palette. I'm going to put it back in its sleeve later and kind of try to clean it up a bit because it is gotten dirty. I got 3 here from Tarte. This is Tarte Pro. I've talked about this one quite a bit. It's just a really good, like, kind of basic palette of tons of mattes. Mine looks really beat up because it used to be in my kit when I worked professionally as a makeup artist. This was one of the perfect prom, wedding, all the things palettes right here, just special occasion palette. This was the one. And it looks beat up because of being cleaned with alcohol. And yeah, and also I set acetone on top. And it just looks worse for wear, but it is a great palette, and I've used and abused it so much on my own beyond it being in my kit. But yeah, it's still, oh, I love that color right there. That's such a pretty shifty brown, kind of purple brown to teal, blue brown. I think so, like they had from MAC. But yeah, the mattes in here are great. I love these shades, and I hope that Tarte brings out some more of these Tarte palettes. I didn't get the second edition one because it just wasn't colors that really interest me, but these, I loved all these mattes. This was such a great one and done palette. You could do a full complete look here and have something really beautiful and elegant or just soft every day. It's so versatile. So versatile. If you still see this around for sale, I still recommend it. It's a really good palette. And I'm going to keep it just because I still love it. This one is purely for nostalgia. This was my first, I think my first high-end palette. Come in a gift set. And I'm just keeping it from the nostalgia of it. So yeah, it's just a little Tarte palette. I have like a section of nostalgia palettes that don't hang out in my regular like rotation. And we got Swamp Queen, Graveyard Girl. This is another special palette because Chandra got me this one. But yeah, she got me this. I mentioned in a video palettes I had FOMO over, you know, or the palettes that I missed out on and wished I had gotten. And this was one of them. She tracked it down online, an authentic one that had only been swatched. And it showed up at my house on a day when I was having a really bad day, and this came in the mail, and I didn't know it was coming. It was really a really good day, because I was having a very, very bad day when this arrived, and Chandra had no idea that I was feeling that way or anything. She just wanted to get me this because I talked about it and she could find it online, and yeah. Anyway, very special. I get all sentimental over it, and here we are. The inside. I still love this palette. It's a great little travel palette. You got the colors in here, pretty. Love these warm tones. You got some purples. I love the purples in here as well, kind of plummy. You got your face shades. It still has such good payoff and quality. I mean, I used it when I got it in the mail. There's a Get Ready With Me using this palette, and I still love it. I still love it, and will be keeping it. You can probably see me upside down in here, and I look pretty rough today. But yeah, this is definitely a palette I will be keeping in the collection because I love it so much, and it's sentimental. And I do still like get the urge to use it because I like the colors. All right, let's move these out the way. And yes, I am in a robe, by the way, because it's just that kind of day. All right, we got She's in Parties from Melt. Freaking love this one. It's so pretty. Oh, you can tell it's quite well loved, huh? But yeah, these colors just really speak to me. I love the plummy, the blood reds. Yeah, this is a gorgeous palette. It's got some nice duochromes in here. I love it. I love it. I love the inspiration of this palette with the names. They're from goth bands. You even have an AFI song in here with Total Immortal. I mean, you got Susie and the Banshees, you got Bauhaus, Joy Division, Misfits. You got everybody in here, and I think it's just, so good. And this shade right here, Skeleton Kiss, is so pretty. Is a gold with a pink, ethereal pink shift, and then Strange Love is a pretty kind of lilac-y shade with a silver base to it. The mattes in here are really good. They're beautiful. They're a bit more cool toned than they appear. She's in Parties is such a good shade. This was based on one of their stacks that I never got my hands on but wanted. And Sleepwalk. Very, very pretty garnet shades. I love it. Oh, Lost Control. Lost Control is a really cool shade. It is just a blackened metallic with plummy glitters within it. Rose gold glitters in there. It's so pretty. It's quite similar to shade in Naked 3. I think I described this as Naked 3's cool goth cousin. That's what this is. Alright. Wipe my hand off. Then we got the Beetlejuice Waiting Room palette. This one was pretty disappointing in my opinion. Quality and color story wise. It's just very lacking. A lot of variety for one thing. These, okay, so you got the shade, make sure the camera's on your phone. So you got Obituary here, and Exit on Exit, and Tombstone, Shrunken Head. These are virtually the same. Like, these two shades are virtually the same. These two shades are virtually the same shade. There's no difference in them in application. They're too close. Like, even the pan, I can't hardly tell them apart. So let me swatch. I think they're very dry formula. I don't like the formula on these. It's very dry feeling. Which they swatch pretty, but they kind of get messy. And I don't know. There's just something about them. They don't blend that great. I was very disappointed in these, even though they're super pigmented. I mean, I don't know. I think this needed more variety. There was more that could have been put in here instead of these shades that feel almost the same. Like, they are so similar. I don't know. I didn't love this palette. And these colors speak to me is the thing. I was very disappointed because I wanted to love it, but I found that it's just too similar. And in swatch, you can see a little bit difference between the shades, but in application, you really couldn't see much difference within these shades. The metallics are beautiful though. These right here, these three that we have across the top, Sod Girl, Dante's Inferno, Lydia, amazing. They are pretty much the highlight of this palette. So let me give you a swatch of Sod Girl. Gorgeous, gorgeous pink with like a red shift in there. And then Dante's Inferno is a blood red with a golden shift. Oof, love it. And then we got a gorgeous metallic red. And the rest of the shades though are just not great in my opinion, quality wise. I feel like this one just is not user friendly. I don't know. It was just a bit of a dud. And this shade right here, Juno, is freaking terrible. Like, it's just awful. Makes a mess. I'm not a fan. I'm picky with Melt's formulas. She's in Parties is phenomenal. Waiting Room, not my favorite. Like, I regret buying this. But since I have it, I'm keeping it because of the collection, or the collector in me wants to keep it because it's Beetlejuice, and I actually do quite like Beetlejuice. So it's going to stay in the collection, and I do find myself reaching for it here and there during like Halloween or when I want these metallics. So that's the only reason it's really staying in the collection. The mattes in there, I just don't like. I don't like it. I don't like that Juno shade. Then we got Gemini. Gemini is one of my favorite palettes ever as well. These greens. I love them. I love them. Leo, Fire OG, Mochi. Ugh. Such a good palette. This metallic is gorgeous. I mean, it's a great metallic. This one is horrible. The one Gemini, this one is very similar to Juno. I mean, Come on. But I love Lorelei. I love this one for its mattes and this one shimmer. So it's definitely staying. And the collection is a very well loved palette. I have a whole playlist of these two palettes of She's in Parties and Gemini because I love them so much. I still would not be mad at having the one with the blue in it. Blueprint. Alright, and I got this one Morphe palette that I hang on to just because it's the one Morphe palette that I think is worth a shit. And this is the Boss Mood palette. It's got the cool greens. It's got the purples. It's got all the colors I love in it. But, I mean, I haven't touched it in 2 years. And I don't like Morphe very much. But I like these colors. And I don't know. I'm keeping it just because I like the colors. And occasionally, there may be a reason to pull this out. Alright, and this is the newest palette to come in my collection. That is the Charlotte Tilbury Instant Eyes. Smoky Eyes Are Forever. I love it. This palette is very good. Worth the price in my opinion. It is just gorgeous. Let me clean my arm off so I can swatch it. I have not wanted to put this palette down since I got it. It's just been... I want to use it every single day. It's so pretty. It is just so, so pretty. I am trying to show you these without blinding you with the mirror. And then they're metallic at the same time. It's kind of hard. But, oh, this palette is so pretty. And this little quadrant right here, Love Eyes, looks like it's so boring. Nah, no. It's got such beautiful impact. Look at that. Look at that shade. It's so pretty. These are the silkiest feeling powders I've ever touched. They feel like nothing else in my collection. Beautiful greens. You know how I feel about the greens. They're what sold me on the palette. And then this quadrant here. And oh, I love this color. I love it. This is a beautiful palette. The matte's amazing, amazing palette. I want all the Instant Eye palettes now. I actually just want every eyeshadow palette from Charlotte at this point because I am so impressed with that one. Like, totally blown away, impressed. I get it now. I understand. I don't know what took me so long to get a hold of one of her palettes. I guess that one's just one that actually finally spoke to me. And here's just some random little guys. I got this NYX one that I picked up this year. This is the Superstars. It's from their Christmas collection. Did I need to buy this? No. Am I going to reach for it again? I doubt it. But it was a surprising palette because it swatched horribly. Like the shade swatches. Terrible. Look at that. You can't even see it. But on the eye, it did great. I don't understand. It just doesn't go with a finger. You have to apply that one with a brush to get anything out of it. It is very weird. Like... for some reason, on the eye, that shade performs way better with a brush, but it's still kind of disappointing. However, this shade right here is gorgeous. And I think that might be what's going to make me keep this palette, because I love that color right there. And this little lilac is so pretty. And you got a pretty little typical shade. It's cute. It's a cute palette. I'm going to keep it around for a little while. And yeah, because I like that one little shimmer in there. But... I do kind of regret purchasing this. It was on sale. It's one of those things I got suckered. The quality is fine. It's a good little palette, and I was impressed with it. But am I ever going to touch it again? Am I ever going to reach for this again? Probably not. I should probably just go ahead and declutter it. I don't know. We're going to think about it. Next I have Natasha Nona Mini Lila. Oh, I love the Mini Lila. This is a great palette, and this purple is beautiful in here. And this raisin shade in the middle. Ooh, yeah, this is a good little palette right here. The Mini Lila. If you see this one on sale or just regular price and light purple, this is a really, really good one to go for. A couple of bite-sized palettes here from e.l.f. We got Hot Jalapeno. Definitely keeping this one. This is a fantastic green palette. I just jabbed it with my nail, but it glows. It is so beautiful. Like, ugh. And I think the greens in here perform so well. Great palette. I do think you would want to reach for a transition shade to work with this palette. Me personally, I would, but I think it's a really good palette. And then we got, what is this one called? Truffles. I tend to be attracted to things called truffles. Truffles and raisins. Yes, it's a really pretty cool tone palette. Really nice. Great quality and just a good palette. It's a good palette to have. And they're so affordable. So yeah, I'm definitely keeping those. Oh, we got this little glitter with Taupe Glow. It's a glitter gel. Do I need this in my life? Bitch, I might. I might want this for something fun. You never know. I might go to like some kind of early 2000s themed party. This is a single of Warm Taupe from ABH. I don't need this. I'm going to pass it on. Used to use that shade in my eyebrows. That's the only reason I have that. This is from Kvd's Serpentina palette. This is just a loose pigment that is very, very beautiful. And I'm definitely keeping it because I love it. That was a shitty swatch, but it's really pretty, just greeny, weird gold kind of stick shade. I love it. So that's gonna stay. I need to put it back in the palette that it lives in. I got this little Infallible here from L'Oreal. This is in Eternal Sunshine. Let's see if this is still in good condition. Yep, still looking good. Just a pretty gold. We'll keep her because that's a really, really nice gold. That is a gold I think would work on cool skin tones, by the way. I should have mentioned that in that video because I didn't even think about it. But this would be a great gold to look at if you are cool complected because it has a softness to it. This is Winky Lux Ursula. I think I pulled this out the other day because I did have an idea for it. It's a little single. It's just a pretty little purple. Kind of the purple I like, that more plummy shade. So yeah, that's pretty. I like that color. I've been attracted to that lately. So yep, that's gonna hang out. We got, this is, I don't even know what this one is. Is it Tetris Life? I think this is a highlighter or an eyeshadow. I'm not sure. I don't know what brand this is. I want to say this is just Ipsy, but it's a really nice gold eyeshadow. If that's what it is anyway. It may be meant to be a face highlight because it's a big square, but that's a pretty nice gold. So yeah. I might want to use you, pretty gold. Alright, and I got a little Mary Kay palette here. This one, I like these shades a lot. Just beautiful, cool tones. Look at that. Ugh. And the quality here is really nice. Like, we all got our feelings about the MLNs. I definitely don't love the MLN model, but the quality, at least with Mary Kay, is pretty good. So regardless of your feelings there, this is just a good quality palette. It was gifted to me, so yeah, I'm going to keep it because I like it. I like those colors. And it's a nice palette. And then I've got this glitter goals from NYX I'm going to keep because I love these glitter shades. Look at that. Hell yeah. We got a Marc Jacobs palette. This is Extravagance. I never can think of the name of this. Extravagance. Oh, this is my one and only Marc Jacobs palette. This is my one and only Marc Jacobs palette, and this was one that I wanted for a very long time since it launched because it's black and gold and stripes and makes me think of a glamorous bee. And it's like luxury naked honey right here. This is beautiful. The quality is fantastic. If you come across some Marc Jacobs palettes like this at a discount store or something, get them. They're good. They're really good. Beautiful, beautiful quality here. And yeah, I love this palette. I love it a lot. Jumping over some indie brands. I've got some palettes from Rebel Rouge Labs. I fell in love with this brand initially because they made typo negative palettes. So we got Suspended in Dusk, which I do actually keep all these in their little sliders because they have their own artwork, which is really cool. So this is Suspended in Dusk. It's typo negative themed. I love it. I love the greens. I love it for fall. These colors are gorgeous. They perform really well. Great palette. Great palette, great brand. The owner is super sweet, and she's got good taste in music and shows. They have a palette based on The Thing. Just to let you know that one. Prelude to Agony. This was Valentine's Day last year. And then the artwork on the palette itself. This one's some pretty fun colors. Look at those. Yeah, I love this shade right here, Laurel. I enjoy that one a lot. I like a lot of these shades. I've used these palettes quite a bit. Enjoyed the heck out of them. I like that this one's got the bigger pans in it. It's really nice. Good quality palettes, and they are an indie brand, so it's nice to support them and support people with similar interests. So it's really fun. I love type of negative. So then we got, this is the Losing My Religion palette. This one I need to play with more. I feel like I haven't gotten to really dig into this one. But look at these colors. They're so fun. It's so fun. Like, it's got that kind of bit of a rainbow palette, but it's also kind of electric and jewel toned, and it's also 90s themed. We have a shade called Cornflake Girl. Okay, there's a Tori Amos reference in this palette. That sells me. And then a garbage reference with Number One Crush. So I love it. I love it. It's a fun, colorful palette. And yeah, I love the artwork as well throughout their collections. It's very cohesive, yet suits each palette. And then this is, I think, their second newest one. This is Gods and Monsters. This is like Gucci, Lana Del Rey, Marie Antoinette vibes. And I love the color story of this one. It's very soft, springy type colors. I love Macabre. I think it's really pretty. Grandeur, Body Electric, Au revoir. Ugh. It's so pretty. I need to play with this one more too, because I really like these colors a lot. So pretty. So pretty. Okay. So that is Rebel Rouge Labs. Alright, let's go through Kvd Beauty. We have got Shade and Light. I mean, it's kind of a classic. I think everybody had Shade and Light at one point or another. I hang on to it just for the nostalgia of it. I still like it. I use it for like brows, and occasionally there's a use for this palette. It's good to just have those nice mattes, and the quality is still pretty good. Again, it looks beat up because it's been cleaned with alcohol quite often. Or was cleaned with alcohol quite often. Great for a makeup kit. We've got the Metamorphosis palette, I think that's what this one was called. Yeah. Really pretty monarch theme, which I think is kind of cool that Melt's collection was also monarch themed. But yeah, this was just some nice like fall looking colors. Very pretty. I kind of don't need it though. Like, I don't think the quality's really there anymore. It doesn't really. I've got better palettes, I think, and when's the last time I've touched this? I mean, it's been years. I don't know. Maybe we'll keep it for the nostalgia, because there may be kind of place to pull it out, and just the collector in me wants to keep this one. We got the Lolita palette. I think this is the first Lolita palette. They came out like multiples of these, or different ones. This is the small one. I love this one. The quality here was so good. They had, I think recently they changed their formula when this one came out, and the quality it just improved dramatically. And the shades in here are gorgeous. They're just so pretty. Like the shade itself, Lolita, beautiful. That's a beautiful eyeshadow. I love the cool shades and the warmth, the plumminess. These are colors I really like, so I'm keeping that one because I still think that's a pretty palette. And we got Metal Matte. This one had the metallic shades and then the row of mattes. It's looking a little worse for wear here. And this isn't a palette I use anymore. It's more just, again, a collector's palette. The shade Moss was a favorite. It's such a pretty green. I haven't come across a green like that in anything else that is showing right there. So yeah, I'm going to hang on to this one. It's not a palette I reach for often. It definitely sits more in the kind of archives, but the shade Moss is so pretty. And I used to use the shade Velvet for my eyebrows when I had that hair color. So yeah, this was just a cool palette. I've got a lot of good memories attached to it, so It's staying. It's nostalgic. And we got Serpentina, which is one of my favorites from KVD period. I love this palette so much. I love the Ankh. I really like serpent themed stuff, and I love Egyptian themed, like particularly with the Ankh. It's a kind of vampire thing. Anyway, I love it. I love it. So Serpentina, beautiful pressed pigment palette. These colors are phenomenal. That's where the little pigment goes. Here we go. You can finally go back in your home. I love this palette. This shade right here, Blood Milk. One of my absolute favorite eyeshadows that ever exist is a true blood red. Yeah, and these metallics in here, stunning. This one, I think that is Sacred. Whew, love it. And Queen was beautiful. Ankh was such a nice shade. I mean, Queen especially, that is a gorgeous, gorgeous plummy red purple shade. I love that color. So yeah, I'm keeping Serpentina, and it usually lives on my shelf as a collector's palette, but sometimes I do reach for it because I really like the colors in there. I think it's beautiful. And then we got, this was Saints and Sinners. Oh, this one. Girl, I loved Saints and Sinners. Hi, Pumpkin. Look at these colors. This is all the kind of colors that I love to play with. You can have some fun here. There was some, some interest. There was some neutrals. It really kind of hit all the marks for me, and the quality was really nice. You had these more topper shades up here that were pretty, especially over a sticky base. They were really cool. They were kind of like transformer shades. That was like a thing for a while, was having the transforming shades and everything. This green, I loved this green. And this purple. I still really love this palette. The quality is still there. I mean, it's a great palette. This blue. Holy shit. Look at that blue. Pumpkin, settle in. And you got this, it looks like LSU colors down here with that purple. Yeah, I really like this palette. And it's got that green. It was so fun. I love the packaging. This was gorgeous. This was gorgeous, and this is why I think KVD Beauty now is so boring, because they're not putting out stuff that look like this anymore. They have no creative direction. And it sucks. And then we got Fetish Palette. I also really, really enjoyed the shit out of this one. This color story got a fun green in here as well. Basically, you throw a fun green and some reds in a palette, I'm going to be into it. I like the red trim and the black pattern of this palette also. The palette design, really cool. It's a little bulky, a little odd to store, much like the Saints and Sinners, but it's a damn cool palette. Again, you got a gorgeous red in here, metallic red. I'll switch over here. I love this super dark navy blue. Like, that was really cool. And then we got a nice matte red shade. Oh, love that one. Got some pretty shimmers in here. These shimmers are not my favorite. Like, they're a bit like that formula in the Melt palettes, but just not quite as smooth. They're a bit rough and not much shine to them. Like, they were kind of duds. But this green, ooh, it was so nice. Matte green. Ugh. I had a good time with this palette. I enjoyed it. I did a really cool Christmas look with this one. With that green and red. So, yeah, I'm keeping that one. These are, again, more collector's items to me. And I may reach for them just for every now and then for one of the odd shades. Like those greens. Okay. Next basket. Alright, this is the last bunch. We got, let me unload here. So, Too Faced. I have got this little peanut butter honey palette that is so cute, but such horrible quality that I'm not even going to keep it. It's got to go. I mean, it was just pure garbage. Pure hot garbage. Barely shows up on the eye. Hardly even swatches. It was just terrible. So, I kept it for a really long time, just out of like nostalgia, I guess, or I don't know. Hate. But it's going to go. even though it's honey themed, it's a bad palette. It really is just really bad quality. Then we got Natural Mattes, on the other hand, really nice quality. And a good palette from Too Faced. The shade Honey Butter. Like, these perform so much better than that Peanut Butter Honey palette. Like, this is just a really nice matte palette. Great for travel and just to have. I like it. And it's pretty. This is still one of the older ones, still in the 10. But yeah, it performs well still, and it's a good little neutral palette just to have around. Keeping it. Too Faced Chocolate Gold. Hell yeah, we're keeping Chocolate Gold, because this is one of the best things Too Faced has ever done. We're keeping it. Beautiful palette. Beautiful palette. Do I need to swatch? Beautiful greens. I just did a video for Christmas time using this palette. Me and Donna did. And then just a couple of nostalgia palettes here. We got this one from Too Faced with the purple. It's nostalgic. I'm keeping it. This was when I first really got into makeup, so I'm keeping that one. Then we got this one here. I love the blush in this one. So yeah, I'm gonna keep that. These were from Christmas, I don't know, 6 years ago. And then here's the big one. I used the heck out of this thing. Oh, I loved it so much. I love the blushes, the bronzer, you got the highlight in here. And it's horrible quality. But when I got it, I thought it was good quality because I didn't know any different. And yeah, purely nostalgic. I'm gonna keep that. just for that. I still have like the big house, like village thing it came with. And I had them set up on my shelf for the longest time because they're so cute. I used to be quite a fan of Too Faced, but then I realized that they are, for the most part, the quality is hot water garbage. So yeah, they can hit it out of the park, or they can just do pure trash. So yeah, I keep those. Those are purely nostalgic. They go on the nostalgia pile. Then we got Dose of Colors, Sassy Siennas. This is a lovely palette. The quality here, really good. I would love to get some more of these palettes from Dose of Colors because they are phenomenal quality. Well, Sassy Siennas anyways, I really, really liked. All right, and lastly, we have Urban Decay. And that will round out the collection. We got G-Train. This is from their little On the Run minis. It's green and it's got warm colors, so of course I bought it. I like this palette still. It's cute. It's cute. Do I see myself reaching for it? Not really. I mean, that green's pretty, but I have greens and there's nothing else really stand out about this palette that makes me think I still need it in my collection. I think it's discontinued and it's just not the best quality in the world. It's just very ho-hum. Just typical Urban Decay. So I'm going to go ahead and let that one go. And then we got On the Run. What is this one? Shortcut. Ooh, Shortcut I thought was pretty. It's got the red in here, or the reddish tones, and the shade Sin, which I think I have in another palette. And this one called After Hours, I remember quite enjoying. Very pretty, but again, it's, I don't know. Gash, we got Gash, that's a pretty one. I might keep this one because I do like these red tones. So that one will stay another year. You making the cut this year, but you might get decluttered. Those are colors I enjoy. My arms are so covered in swatches right now. I'm too lazy to wipe them off again. We got this one from Pulp Fiction collab years ago. This actually might be my first high-end palette. I bought it on sale from Sephora. Yeah, I still lived in an apartment when I got this one. This is well before I got married or anything. Yeah, this is pretty old. But keeping it for, again, the nostalgia. It's a collector's item. It's Pulp Fiction. Vice 2, another collector's item in my opinion. These were so legendary when they came out. Man, they were such a big deal. This one has turned. It looks like it has got mold on it. Like, what the fuck? That looks horrible. There is something really bad happening to that gold shade. It's like turning weird around the edges. Ew. But yeah, I obviously don't use these palettes, but I love them because they represent a very, very magical time in makeup for me. Of just discovering the beauty community. And look at this. I wish more palettes did this. The bitch is on like hydraulics. You push a button and it opens. These felt so luxe and just... They were so special. Like, I look forward to them every year. And then we got the Vice 3, which was, I think, the better of the two that I own. This was really fun. We got really pretty kind of reds and just cool colors in here, like this bright green. Yeah, I mean, that green still swatches good. But these are really old. Vanity was a really nice shade. But yeah, I loved these when they came out so much. These are very nostalgic, and I'm definitely going to keep them just purely for the nostalgia value. Yeah, they're not super easy to store. I don't care. Alright, Naked Honey. Of course, we're keeping Naked Honey. It is the best thing Decay ever did. Literally, the quality here is the best quality they've ever put out. It's so good. So good. I love Naked Honey. Naked 3 stays purely because of nostalgia. Remember what a big deal this palette was. Holy shit. Gosh. I was so beside myself when it came out. And I finally got it. Blackheart's still one of my favorites in that. And yeah, just keeping this one for the nostalgia of it. And I may revisit it every now and then. I don't know. I thought it was funny they launched like a little like mini Naked 3. I'm like, who cares about that anymore? But here I am keeping it. And of course Naked 2, another very nostalgic palette. Nostalgic palette for me. I still love this color story. I find myself buying dupes of it. And again, just keeping this one purely for reference. Haven't used it in about 4 years. And then we got Urban Decay Wild West. I love the packaging of this one, and I like the Wild West theme. That's why I picked it up. And I do like the colors. It's not the most... What's Teresa's dad calls this? The Arizona Divorcee palette. Which cracks me up. And anyway, yeah, I like the colors in here. The quality is, you know, it's alright. It's Urban Decay quality. I think Naked Honey is a better quality, but this is still a good palette. And if you like Naked Honey but wanted some more variety, this is a good one. You do have some cool tones in here. Like Cowboy Rick, I think they're a little typical Urban Decay, not like the most show-stopping metallics in the world, but the mattes are really, really nice. So yeah, and Bud is really good as well as Rustler. Hold'em's nice. Cowboy Rick, I think, might be the only really disappointing shade in this palette. So yeah, keeping that one. I love it. It's a fun palette. And yeah, okay. I think we're done. So we've decluttered more than I thought I would. I let go of an Urban Decay palette, 2 ABH palettes, a Huda palette, a Norvina palette, and Too Faced, and some drugstore. You know, hey, I let go of some palettes. I think last year I maybe let go of one thing. So yeah, enjoy my swatchy arms. If you enjoyed this video, just go ahead, like, subscribe, and comment down below. Let me know if there's any of these palettes that you love. Your thoughts on any of these palettes, whatever, anything like that. My brain's broke at this point. I've been decluttering so much that I'm mentally just broke. So I'm gonna put these away, and yeah, I think I'll see you guys in the next one. Stay safe, stay spooky. Bye now.